Welcome, students of human nature. Today's class is about the masks we wear. When you were a child, you had a superpower, but you lost it, and I'm gonna help you get it back. We will cover the law of role-playing and how to see through people's masks. These ideas are taken from a book called Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Life-changing book. 20 out of 10. Mwah! This video is part of a series that lets you know how humans work, and I try to keep it light and fun, so please subscribe if you want to unravel this mystery of humankind. Let's begin. When I talk about masks, it's obviously not these ones. It's this one. Now I'm sure you have noticed that you are acting differently around different people. Think about how you behave around your friends, around your loved ones, around your crush, or even strangers. Now think about how you behave around your boss during work. Would you act as casual with your boss than you do with the people at home? You want to say the right things. You want to smile to certain people. You want to be seen as confident and smart. And while doing that, you also want to hide the bad parts of you. The envy you feel when the coworker gets that promotion that you were also applying for. You want to hide the sad feelings you sometimes get from your children, or the disappointment you feel from your spouse, and the other countless little insecurities. So it's quite difficult to see your true feelings because you're working so very hard to hide them. But sometimes your mask just cracks a little bit and the true you peeks through it. You might lose control due to the stress that you're having, or you just might had enough of the role play. Whatever the reason, now people can see the true you. Don't be alarmed, everybody wears masks. We all want the world to see the best side of us. We all want to see confident and humble and kind and smart and strong. Even I'm trying to be more energized, more zany, more zazzy, more kind to you in front of this camera, because otherwise I am afraid that my regular self is not going to be able to hold your attention for so long. That's the landscape of social media, folks. You know, we have to wear masks. But it was not always so. Children are great observers. My little one, like all babies, is in love with the world. She sees everything. Because babies are small and weak, their survival depends on decoding other people. They can easily see through fake smiles and sense the message behind the tone of the voice. But around age of 5, their attention starts to go inward. They begin to worry about what others think of them, and they maybe start lying or manipulating to get what they want or to hide their faults. I remember bringing my teacher some candy and telling her how nice she looks in the hopes of getting better grades. What about you? Do you try to impress somebody to get something out of them? Now, because of this inward focus, seeing what's really going on outside starts to fade away. This is the superpower that I was referring to see through people's masks and to really know what they are saying, what they want to say. That's the superpower. It's like reading other people's minds. Would you like to read minds again? Then listen on. Now, I've talked about this many times before. Our words express direct information. Usually. We can sometimes argue what people mean when they say something, but usually it's pretty clear. But there is another language as well. Nonverbal cues is the subtext of what we are really trying to say. While our words can be untruthful, our body movement and orientation and nuances of the voice and facial expressions and the way we dress, the way our eyes move, etc. usually speaks the truth. When your spouse comes rushing in, flailing his arms, grimacing and muttering something to himself, and then you ask, "Honey, are you okay?" And he answers, "Yeah, I'm fine. He's obviously not fine. The language of non-verbal cues is pretty obvious. You can clearly see the cracks in the mask. But there are other times when clues are not so obvious. One day your boss fires you out of the blue, a real life affecting consequence. Understand, hostile actions never come out of the blue. There are always signs. Your boss might be smiling at you while other coworkers are around because in the group environment they cannot express their true feelings for you, or they might end up looking bad. But the handshakes he gives to you is weak, the voice he speaks to you is passive-aggressive or neutral, and the eyes might be void of emotion. One thing I will add, these masks, they are necessary. They allow us to function normally in the society. Imagine a person who talks the same way to their boss as they talk to their children, say things without filters or agenda. Right now we would think this person is crazy. But as a student of human nature, you have a mission. In fact, you have 3 tasks. First is to become aware of these masks around you. As Shakespeare said, this whole world is a stage and we are merely actors playing different parts. You also must recognize how self-absorbed you really are and start paying attention to others. Secondly, you have to accept this theatrical quality of life. Do not moralize against these masks, they are essential to smooth social functioning. Your goal is to play your part as best as you can. Be the method actor and deeply believe in the character whose mask you're wearing. But always remember that you can change it. Thirdly, you must not be naive and think that what you see in people is actual reality. Don't be fooled by their acting skills. Transform yourself into the master decoder and sense their true feelings. Work on your observational skills and become super detective, like Sherlock Holmes. Now, here one would ask, but what about your authentic self? Yes, the person who is truly authentic does not need to wear any masks. You can simply be yourself. This is super beneficial if you want to build a strong, long-lasting, loyal, loving relationships where you can drop your masks and be truly comfortable showing your true self. But the professional life is much more complicated and you need to learn how to play the game. So I promised to give you your superpowers back, so I'm gonna end this lesson with some homework if you truly want to become that mind reader you once were. First, notice yourself, how you act around people. When you begin to notice your own non-verbal cues, then seeing other people's becomes easier. Now, be attentive of micro-expressions, the quick flashes on the face of tension or forced smiles. Once you succeed in this simple exercise with one person, try it with someone else, always focusing on the face. When you find it easier to see the cues in one's face, then start paying attention to their voice. The change of the pitch or the pace of their talking. The voice always says a lot about people's level of confidence. After their voice, notice their bodies. How are they holding the posture, the shoulders, the back? What hand gestures are they using? Or the position of their legs. Keep these exercises simple. Have simple goals and write down any observations you see. And of course, look for the patterns. And I love this paragraph. It's taken from the book verbatim. Word for word. To take this practice further, try a different exercise. Sit in a cafe or some public space and without the burden of having to be involved in a conversation, observe the people around you. Listen in on their conversations for vocal cues. Take note of walking styles and overall body language. If possible, take notes. As you get better at this, you can try to guess people's profession by the cues you pick up, or something about their personality from their body language. It should be a pleasurable game. And finally, a warning. You must also sense the context behind the message that you're decoding. You have to be careful that you don't let your own beliefs and biases to muddy that information. Like, a person in tattoos is not always dangerous. Not always. So, be a neutral observer and the whole world opens up for you. Thank you very much, class, for your attention. Time for a little break. If you found this video interesting, then please hit that like button and maybe give me some feedback down below as well. Thanks again for your time. Class dismissed.